the new times.
The system that is being set up is to facilitate online application, but also for those who are unable, who can't be facilitated in the system, we have the other option of applying through the hard copies. Now, the online application system will open tomorrow, that's Friday, and it will be open until the 4th of May. It's not the 3rd of May, but the 4th of May. So we have almost a whole of about 2 months for people to be able to apply. And all it requires is that somebody has to go into the website, the URL website, they access the right site. There'll be instructions on what to do and what to follow, and they have to go through the whole process. And as explained in the briefing, once you have made the application, you get what we call the reference number. And that reference number, you use it to go and pay for the application fee in the bank. So when you are going to the system to apply, you don't need to pay money. But once you have finished applying, you use that reference number and go to the bank and pay the 5,000 Rwanda francs, either in INM bank or in the BK bank. And there are specific account numbers given on the website. We have also catered for people who might not have internet access, which means they can go to any of the campuses of UR. They'll be given facilities where they can apply. They get the reference number, and then they can go and pay as the rest. Now, for those who finished S6 before, I think, 2011 and beyond, or if they are from systems that are not Rwandan systems, they have to fill in a hard copy form, which they have then, after completing the form, they take it to the respective colleges where they are supposed to be applying to, and there they can be facilitated to generate a reference number, which they can use to go and pay the application fee. Now, what the system does is that once the applications are received, they'll be processed to be able to identify where to place people. In the application, people are given 5 choices. You can choose which campus you want to go to, you can choose which program you want, and you can choose which college you want to study. And all this information is available on the website. All we're asking the applicants is to read the instructions very carefully and look at the information that is provided before they start filling in the forms. And then once, as you start filling in, it's a very self-explanatory process. It takes you through until you reach the end where you submit your application, and you get an indication that your application has been received. If in the process people get problems, if the problems are technical in nature, we have given numbers to call. And if the problems are related to what programs you want to choose and which college you want to go to, we've also given telephone numbers of the registrars of the different colleges. If it's the overall system process of applying, they can apply to the university registrar. We have given the application process about 2 months, unlike last year when it was quite short. So people have got enough time to apply. But also, we are going to announce the results quite early, at the beginning of June, which means once you are admitted, now you can start looking for funding. And this will enable funding agencies like Rwanda Education Board or FAJ or the police or the army to know who is admitted, and then they can be able to offer them scholarship, rather than the other way around, where they were offering scholarship to people who had no admission. So we want to make sure that the process, there's enough time for people to look for funding. Also, maybe when you are reporting, we like to make a special appeal to the female applicants to be able to come forward. Last year, we had almost, of the people who could have applied, that is 2 principals and above, 46% of them were female. But when it came to applying, the number of applicants who applied, only 33% were female. So we hope that this year there will be more female applicants to be able to increase our proportion of female participation in our programs.
I mentioned earlier that we would be satisfied if we had 50% of our students female. Now, the issue is not so much getting admission to the university. Quite a substantial number of young women get admission. The question then is how many of them actually continue with their application and register at the university. And what would appear to be happening is that if they don't get financial support from the government, a disproportionate number of young women don't pursue university education. So there is a cultural and a community issue here that we have to talk with the community about. You know, do you want your daughters to study at university? And if you don't, why not? And that's an issue that's going to take some years to resolve. But our target, our commitment, is to ensure that 50% of the students coming to the university are female.